Hello, I'm Markus from Switzerland, and welcome to the Positively Charged EV channel from Drive the Lightning, Chad and Sarah. Here we
Perfect.
go!
Thanks for being here on Drive the Lightning, the positively charged EV channel. Aptera tried to run away from us. They went all the way to Europe to stay away from me and Sarah. But we have eyes
Why?
and ears everywhere.
Yes.
Our eyes and ears in this case, Markus S. Thank you, Markus, for being here.
The big question is why they ran away.
Hey,
Everybody knows.
everybody really knows. Yeah,
It's us, not
Okay.
them.
it's a stalker.
It's because of Chad?
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Could be true. So, Markus, you're a guy who's commented a lot of times on our channel. We know you're very excited about the Aptera Solar Mobility Project. What is it that got you started thinking about this? What is it about Aptera that's exciting to you?
Well, the thing that excites me about Aptera is its efficiency and its aerodynamics. I already was dreaming of having an aerodynamically faired bicycle when I was about 15. First, human-powered vehicle that exceeded 100 kilometers per hour. This was called Vector, and it was a tandem bicycle. So there were two people sitting one behind the other, and they were pedaling, and it was fully enclosed. And I thought, oh, if I could afford such a one, but they were not even on sale. It was an experimental thing. They wanted to break a world record, and they built 2 or 3 of them. And one of them was a tandem bicycle for 2 persons. And with this, they exceeded 60 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour, just on the flat. And well, in first place, it was not available. And if it had been, it would have been so expensive that the 15-year-old couldn't afford it by no means. Even an adult one, would have cost tens of thousands of dollars.
And it might have been dangerous in the wrong hands. Might have been dangerous just 15-year-olds going 60 miles an hour.
It can even be dangerous in the hands of adults.
Maybe more so.
It's a braking power that decides if you make it or not.
Right.
I started to ride my bike, and I thought, oh no, it's after 30 kilometers or 20 miles or so, my back hurt. And my wrist hurt and my neck hurt. And then I thought, well, maybe a recumbent bicycle would be something. And found a forum on the internet about recumbent bicycles, bought one used, and later I bought a velomobile. And I saw that this was really the thing. And in the end, I ended up with doing about 10,000 kilometers per year with the recumbent bicycles, velomobile, and the open ones also. And my car I'm using now for about 5,000 kilometers per year. So
wow.
I maintained the 15,000 per year, but the 2/3 of it I do with bicycles.
Gotcha.
And then someday someone posted a link to Aptera. Hey, they are here again. And I actually had seen this vehicle back in 2006.
Okay.
There was
in person? You saw in person in 2006?
No, I saw it on a YouTube video back then. And then I investigated how to get such a vehicle. And then I found out it was only for Californians. I couldn't pre-order one, so I forgot about it. Oh, nothing. And later they went out of business.
Yeah.
And then I read on this velomobile forum that they were back in business, and I pre-ordered one.
Very good.
Nice.
now, just for our audience, now we live 2,200 miles from Carlsbad, California, where the Aptera factory is. How far do you live from Aptera, from the factory?
I'm living in Switzerland, for those who don't know.
So here's something else. Now, you're in Switzerland,
and
the Aptera's in California, and people in New York City in the United States or Boston or Detroit, they've never seen the Aptera. The Aptera has never made it any further, I don't think, outside of California. But somehow you have seen it before a whole bunch of people in the United States have seen it. Can you explain how it is you got to see the Aptera?
Yes, that was a great deal because I thought I will be maybe way back in the line and they will ship it when all North America is served already, which is not true, which I found out in Saxe-Moritz.
Explain to us what you learned. Let's hear it. What is it you learned about the rollout of the Aptera, how it's going to get to people and when?
Well, we have now this Accelerate campaign.
Yeah.
And the first 2,000 who subscribed there, who lay down $10,000 for investment, not for paying the Aptera, for investment, they will get served first. And it doesn't matter where they live. They just have to pay for the shipment, which is maybe $4,000 or $5,000, I guess.
Wow.
And they have to homologate it or piece by piece, which is maybe another 4,000, I don't know. I actually have a friend who let homologate his tricycle,
Wow.
like a normal pedaled bicycle, but 3 wheels. And he put the motor on it to drive up to 45 kilometers per hour, about 30 miles per hour. And up to 15 miles per hour. It doesn't require a license plate and anything. But if it's above, they need to have a license plate, driver's license, and they need a homologation. And in Switzerland, it is not foreseen that those even exist. You can motorize a tricycle up to 15 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour without problem. You don't have to ask anybody. If it's more, it's not even possible. It's not foreseen. In Germany, you can, but it costs.
Yeah.
And so there was a guy who said, I want that. And he transformed his tricycle with an auxiliary electric motor. And he was lucky enough to live in the right canton, which would be a state in the United States, where they even looked at it. And he found very helpful people that he could make it. In another canton, they just would have said, no, it's not possible, forget it. Okay. So he was lucky. And with that, he now is allowed to drive with it in whole Switzerland, even in whole Europe. But it cost him about $4,000 just for a tricycle.
But now that he did it, Markus, couldn't he duplicate that? Could he now build more now that
no,
it's been...
No, it's just for this one.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
And probably for the ones who are in the Accelerate program and let them send a vehicle. If they're lucky, maybe they can homologate a whole batch.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And if they are not lucky, they have to homologate it one by one.
What do you see as the biggest issues for making the Aptera a good fit for Switzerland to homologate it? Is it the width of is that the issue? Or is it just because it's an unknown vehicle? What's the big deal?
No,
drop it and drive.
The biggest obstacle is the missing wheel.
Oh, okay.
So it's a
three-wheeler.
Because 4-wheel vehicles can be 2.5 meters wide.
Okay.
If it's only 3 wheels, only 2 meters. In theory, but it's not a Swiss regulation, it's a European regulation, and the Swiss tends to copy everything or say, oh, we don't have that regulation. It's actually written down in the law that Switzerland does not have a width limit for 3-wheeled vehicles, but they say we will lean on what the European community does. And they have this regulation, but it's not, I don't think it's even a European-wide regulation. It's country by country, and they copy each other.
Let me ask you a question. When you heard that the Aptera was in Italy and it was going to be in Switzerland, how were you able to be in the same place? How were you able to get to the Aptera so you could see it for yourself?
Well, first I heard that the Aptera will come to Switzerland on your show. You interviewed Chris Anthony.
Oh, right, right.
And he said, oh, yes, the Aptera is now in Modena, and then it will travel to Switzerland. And then I left a comment on your YouTube video complaining that how I could, and in the same video, Chris Anthony said, you made him tell a thing that he afterwards wished he never would have pronounced.
Right.
And then
I
he
remember
said,
that.
"Oh well,
Yeah. We put
not
him on the
not
spot.
leaking Aptera secrets." He said, "Well, I love dark chocolate."
Yeah.
And then I wrote in the comments of your video, "Oh, probably I have to bribe Chris with dark chocolate." And you said, "Yes, that's a good idea."
Try it.
And
We're taking just a moment to take a break from talking with Markus in Switzerland, and we want to do that so we can say thank you. We want to thank Jay Busby for coffee, and there's someone else we need to thank. Someone bought us coffee. Thank you so much, someone.
And we have some updates to the Mug Club. That's when you mugs buy mugs. So these mugs can go to California and see the Aptera again when it gets back from Switzerland. We're looking forward to that. Thank you. You see the map is really filling out in the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Go ahead.
Thanks for all your support.
Thanks for all your support. And we don't do channel memberships on this channel anymore. But when we did do channel memberships, these folks supported us and kept us going. We cannot thank you enough for what you did for Sarah and Chad.
Yes. So big thumbs up for all of our previous members. We really appreciate you guys so much.
Permanent members now.
Permanent members now.
And this we've been waiting to announce for a very long time, and it's officially official. Bob Newchow's book is available for purchase on Amazon.
Yes.
He's compiled some of these poems, prose with pictures of Aptera that we've posted some of these on our channel.
Yeah, beautiful pieces of
Now you can
artwork.
have it for your coffee table, and we're not making any money on this, not a sales pitch. And even Bob, as of now, isn't making any money on this. I think he's selling it at cost. That may change in the future. But there is a link in the description if you want to buy this book. I already bought it, by the way.
Yep.
I'll show it to you when it arrives, but for $8, you should buy this book. That's it. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's
yeah.
fantastic. Thank you, Bob. Now, Sarah, back to Markus.
Okay.
this was actually the trigger that I really wrote to Aptera.
Nice.
How could I get to see this vehicle?
Okay, good.
And then about for 1 week, nothing happened.
Okay.
And then an email arrived. There they wrote if we in Switzerland or those near Switzerland wanted to see the Aptera, we should subscribe to part of the event.
Oh, good. Sarah and I would love to know what you learned that you didn't already know about the Aptera. Because I know you've been studying about it. You watch, YouTube videos and you do your research, but what did you learn new about either the Aptera, the car, or maybe the people that run Aptera? What did you learn?
Well, of course, I got to know Steve and Chris, which was a great experience. Very nice people, very knowledgeable and normal people. They don't have problems to get in touch with anybody. They're just so normal. This is very refreshing. But we already knew that all because of all those interviews. They are very normal people, but extraordinary in what they are doing. And then, I had some questions I asked them, which was about the delivery timeline for non-American customers.
Good question.
Right.
And then, that was the point when when Chris first said, if someone has the Accelerate program bonus, he can come and fetch the car, the Aptera, and take it home or let it deliver by someone. Then actually I also asked him, but when will the others get their Apteras?
Good question.
Yeah.
Of course, he couldn't say a specific date or year or something because it all depends on the funding now. But he said that they will not fall all the way back to the waiting line.
Okay.
So it will be more or less, the first will be delivered in California. After the 2000s. They will be strictly delivered in the region of California.
Mm-hmm.
And but it will not be excessively long before they deliver to the rest of the United States, and at the same time also to the rest of the world.
Excellent.
Okay, nice.
So
that's good.
After California delivery, shipping will be happening to everywhere in the world, with the caveat that in some countries homologation might be pendant, because they still haven't done it anywhere. They are still working on the US part of the homologation. but they really are very interested to get it out to the whole world as soon as possible.
So even without the homologation, if I'm saying that right, they can get the car to you, but it might not be
Yes.
legal to drive yet, right?
Yes,
That's
you
the real
have to get
issue.
it through the homologation if they
Yeah.
haven't done it yet. Chris was very
Approved.
positive on that it would be possible in spite of this silly width restriction in Europe. Also the length of the vehicle. It's too long for a three-wheeler.
Okay.
Too long and too wide,
Too wide.
but a
yeah.
normal car would go through. So it's just a
Okay.
missing wheel.
Gotcha.
And he said, well, there are so many experimental vehicles that get exported all around the world
Sure.
that didn't fetch or it didn't match the requirements all along, and they still got there. So
Yeah.
there's a good chance that it will be possible, but it will not be cheap.
I'm sure.
Gotcha.
But it will be worth it for those who can afford it.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think of shelling out another 4 or 5 grand just for getting it.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
too if we were in your situation. You might get yours before we get ours. You know, we're 2,000 miles
possible,
away.
yes.
Yeah.
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 Weird.
Yeah. That's okay though. We want you to
Yeah.
have yours too.
Yeah,
Mark.
I'm about that around 10 or 12,000 in the line.
Okay. When we signed up, I think we were about 13,500, somewhere in 13,000, 13,500 area, but it's
then-
okay.
Well, probably we will be served at the same time.
It's a victory for
Probably
all of us,
close,
Marcus.
Yes, that'll be a
Yeah.
fun day.
Yeah. We'll be cheering for you to get yours as much as we are for us to get ours.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after having seen it in person, Marcus, what can you give us your impressions of the interior, the exterior of, you probably saw the Gamma vehicle. What did you think of it?
Well, the interior was it's just so comfortable to sit in it.
Yeah.
And one of the most important things for me was to see that I mean, in the Gamma, I don't know if the seat was adjustable when you tested it in Carlsbad. Or in San Diego.
I don't
fully
remember
charged show.
trying to.
Well, we saw it in Carlsbad the 2 days before the fully charged show at the factory.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember ever trying to adjust
I
it.
don't think I tried to adjust it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, this time it was possible to adjust it, but they didn't like to adjust it. But the steering column,
Okay.
it's in the Gamma, it's not adjustable.
Okay.
But in the production version, it will be adjustable up and down and back and forth as well.
Oh, and back and forth.
Good,
Wow.
good. Oh, that'll be nice.
Excellent. It's kind of weird. You sat in the exact same car we sat in. I mean, they only have one Gamma.
It's kind of neat.
They only have one Gamma.
Yeah, so we were all the exact same car.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And
weird.
I asked him, how will the steering column be adjustable? And Chris said, well, also it will telescope.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
And
Well,
even
that's
without that, and now it's in the uppermost height that will be possible in the production version.
Okay.
And when I have seen the pictures from San Diego, people sitting in it, it was almost always in the way, even with the biggest person sitting in there.
Okay. Okay.
But then I actually sat a bit forward so that my feet could touch the pedals. And then I could comfortably see over the yoke to those side view monitors.
Good.
Which for me is important because in Switzerland it's allowed to have only side view monitors without mirrors.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
In the whole EU it's allowed, yes. In Japan it's allowed, in the EU it's allowed, in Saudi Arabia it's allowed, and in many other countries in Asia too, I think.
Well, I hope the U.S. copies that.
I hope we catch up with you guys.
There's a mirror mafia there.
Yeah.
Mirror mafia.
Yeah.
Well, that's a new one to me.
That's a whole industry. Hey.
Oh, of course.
A whole industry of mirror producers will go out of business.
Yeah. They'll be on strike in the big mirrors for signs, you know. They'll be on strike.
Yeah. Maybe someone should buy those mirror companies and start producing monitors.
Yes, then they can have jobs still. That's right. Yeah.
And also, probably you also knew this already, the side view monitors that are in the Gamma, they are of a much lower quality than it will be afterwards.
Right.
So with these they would not be allowed to in Europe to
Okay.
drive around.
They're just
Because
too low
in
def.
Europe, they have to be homologated. They have to be. It has to be a product that matches certain standards.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean the optics. It must be really good material, so there is no glare.
Yeah.
The thing when the car comes from behind, that he can't blind you, and I think it will be better than any mirror.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because sometimes now, if someone comes from behind, I have to dodge the mirror, so he doesn't blind me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And with
same
the
here.
monitors, the monitor will automatically dim down.
I was behind a truck yesterday, Marcus, just yesterday, and the sun was behind me, hitting his rear view mirror, and his rear view mirror was blinding me. Yeah, so this is what the mirror mafia, they got to get out of the way here.
Time for the ejection seat.
Time for some, So,
Or a lane change.
or I could just change lanes. Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
So what about the outside? You finally got to actually see the exterior, not from a picture or a video, but for yourself. What do you think of the shape and the design?
Well, it's great. It doesn't look that fat as in the pictures.
We found that too. We found it's much better.
Because in some pictures, when you really see it from almost the same height as the windows or the doors, it really looks much fatter than the Alpha did.
Okay, good.
Yep.
And it looks very neat, yes.
So one of the biggest questions we've received is, it's not so much now, but a lot of people used to say, well, getting in and out is just a headache. Now, when I did it, I didn't even notice. I just jumped in and then I jumped out and never thought about it. What was your experience?
Also there, I haven't seen one person that had a problem getting in. Someone wanted to get in, just quite normal, not a very tall person. Then Chris wanted to tell him or her how to get in to not hit the head, but it just got in.
Yeah, let's figure it out. I mean, it's a car. You get in it.
It isn't, except if you are really tall, it is not even necessary to first sit down and then get both feet in. You can, but it is. I am 170 high. That is in imperial measurements. It's 5'7".
Okay.
5'7", and I can get in just as into my normal car.
Good.
Maybe in the Alpha it was different because the Alpha was a bit less tall.
I got in the Alpha. We rode in the Alpha again, no problem. I just
How tall are you?
I'm about your height.
Okay.
Yeah, you and I are very close. Sarah's a little bit. Sarah's taller. No, Sarah's a little bit shorter. But it's just funny because, like my Nissan Leaf, I don't think about how I get in it. I open the door, I get in the car. That's it. I don't waste a lot of brain power figuring that out. But people seem to obsess over that with the Aptera.
Well, and I will say, I had a friend who had some problems with her back, and she was told that the proper way to get into any car is to sit down and then move your legs into the car. That is how you're supposed to get into any vehicle.
Science.
I did not know that,
Science
and I
at
don't
work.
usually
I
do
didn't
that.
know either, but
and I didn't do that with Aptera either. But just so everybody knows,
I usually climb in head first like this, and then I turn around. I mean, you get in the car. I mean, it's not worth talking about, but this will put it to rest. You heard it from Markus S. You might not trust me and Sarah, but you could trust Markus.
That's right.
Said it's no big deal to get in this car. He's got an honest face. You can trust him.
Okay, thank you.
So, Markus, would you mind explaining to our audience exactly where you're from and how far you had to travel to see the Aptera?
I live in the north of Switzerland, between Basel and Zurich.
Okay.
And the Engadin, St. Moritz, and this town Maloja. It's a very small village, about 10 kilometers from St. Moritz, actually. To get there, I had to travel about 270 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much time is that?
That was a bit less than 3 hours.
Okay.
And this is in the bicycle.
No, this was my car.
Okay.
I'm not that well trained as you believe. I mean, if it had been in Zurich, this is about 55 kilometers. I would have gone with my Velomobile, of course.
Of course, yeah. We say that again. The place where it was, Saint what?
St. Moritz.
Moritz.
St. Moritz.
And these are, you sent us pictures of this. This is a gorgeous part of the world.
Well, this was actually Maloja. It's about 10 kilometers from St. Moritz. Is very mundane, and there are the really rich people. And if the rich people want to go to an event that is organized in Maloja, well, it's just outside of St. Moritz for them. They didn't do the paperwork to drive the Aptera on Swiss streets.
Oh.
Who's the they? Give me some names. I'm going to get a pen. Who's the they in that? Who didn't do it?
Who didn't do it?
It doesn't matter.
Whose job was it to get that done?
I didn't do it as well, and you either.
I didn't do it. Yeah.
No, I definitely didn't do it.
I don't know who. Well, nobody did it because the whole thing was quite improvised.
Oh, really?
Because Chris said, well, they were at Modena, and they had to have the vehicle there for the production of the body.
Yeah.
They said, oh, now we go to Switzerland to this investment event. Why not take the Aptera with us?
Good idea.
It was a spontaneous idea of Chris and Steve when they already were in Modena. And then I think they had to organize everything by themselves. Instead of making a call to their wonderful marketing team, who would have probably done a more thorough job.
Well, let's hope.
Because it's not, bringing a vehicle somewhere, it's not just, you don't bring it just like a bag or something.
Right.
It's not a carry-on on your flight.
Because Chris and Steve, they automatically thought they could bring the vehicle into to a big room to present it, as many hotels have it, especially in America, but not in Switzerland. And this palace, Maloja Palace, is a building that was built more than 100 years ago. And 100 years ago, no horse was allowed to get into a luxury.
Yeah, no big
hotel.
bay doors. Okay.
The horses stayed outside, and afterwards the car stayed outside.
Well, at least you got a nice lesson in American psychology there, Marcus, because they said, not only am I going to bring my car to your 100-year-old palace, I plan to drive it right into the living room. It's just because, I'm American, I'm from California, I do what I want.
This is how we do stuff.
So
it was a misunderstanding.
A is a good thing, a little humility.
For Chris and Steve, it was normal that you can drive into a hotel, maybe.
Perfectly normal. We do this
and
all
for
the time.
Other ones, it was normal that nobody would even present the car, because there were so many cars every day that they had no idea what they were talking about. I think they totally misunderstood what was happening there.
We like Chris better than Steve. Which one do you like better?
No, we did. That's only because we haven't talked to Steve.
Well, then I like Steve more than Chris. Just to keep the equilibrium.
Make it fair.
These I like both of them extremely well, because they tell you different stuff.
True.
And so far, Steve was not on so many interviews, and I find his interviews always more exciting than the ones with Chris, because Chris basically, he tells his story. And then Steve tells the same story differently, and gives new information, which is of great value. And the funniest part was when I was there, someone was greeting me, "Hey, Markus," and it was one of those recumbent bikers.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
another Velomobile driver I already knew. And no one of each knew that the other one also holds a pre-order.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Aw, Aptera's bringing people together in new ways.
So the Aptera world is really a special world where some people already know each other.
It's a neat community. And some of us are just, crazy, but in a good way. We're crazy about efficiency. We're excited about solar energy. We're excited about the benefits to our environment. And you get a lot of passionate, excited people. And it's kind of a fun community to be in.
We've
met
really
a lot of nice
enjoyed
people.
being a part of this.
My father always says, who is not crazy is crazy.
So if
or
you're
who is not crazy must be crazy, something like that.
You say you're not crazy, you have to be crazy.
Yeah.
We're all crazy in our own ways. I like that.
Thank you again, Markus. We appreciate it very much. Hang in there.
Me too. Thank you
so much for all your insightful comments on our channel.
We love your comments.
Wonderful.
We love your comments.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Sometimes I'm just making fun of something.
That's
Us
okay.
or
too.
most of the time.
Making fun of Sarah.
But life
fun.
has to be fun. So,
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
or we're
right.
not going to make it.
Yes.
oh yes, I gave them actually some bribery back.
Did you give them some chocolate?
You know what?
Dark chocolate.
Yes.
Yes.
You did? Oh, great.
Yeah, I asked Chris, well, how tight are you already packed to get back to the US? Because I have something for you, but I don't want you to carry stuff because you will have souvenirs and everything. Yeah, well, what is it? It's dark chocolate. Oh yes, no problem, bring it.
And Chris Anthony, if you're watching, I feel like
You're
you
welcome.
owe us some of that dark chocolate.
Yeah.
But I forgot to ask something in change of the bribery.
Oh,
Oh. You haven't got the hang of bribing properly yet.
so I guess it's just a kindness, just a bueno kindness you did. Yeah.
Oh.
It goes
Alright.
through as kindness, not as
Yeah.
bribery. So that's hilarious because there are about 20,000 Marcuses in Switzerland.
Are there really?
So I cannot say I'm Marcus from Switzerland. All the other 19,999 will be offended. Because they are also from Switzerland, you know?
But you're the Marcus from Switzerland.
Yeah, that's why they will be offended, because they won't believe it.
We have your face,
They
though.
will-
This Marcus,
Imagine
obviously.
healthcare costs because of treating depression.
You could say, this is Marcus.
The Swiss healthcare has to pay psychologists for 19,999 Marcuses in Switzerland. That's too expensive. I cannot take on the responsibility of that.
Oh, you're going to crash the government there, Marcus.
Absolutely. Switzerland for sale.
That was a good one.
You're killing us.
This will be money missing for funding Aptera.
I had no idea Europeans were even funny, Marcus, but you're cracking me up. Okay, I'm going to kick you out in 3 seconds. 2,
Great.
1. Well, I didn't do it. Let's try again.
You can't get rid of
Marcus
I'll
just
stick with
what
you
if-
for the rest
What if
of
you
your
live
life.
with us, but only on Zoom, and you're just always here? It's just the three of us and the 4
Just
cats.
come in and say hi sometimes.
Bring you a cup of coffee. All right, Marcus. Well, I think I got it figured out.
Goodbye.